Today's topic is the lessons we learn about man from the creation story. You're welcome to Christian Religious Education Lesson 8. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get notifications of our videos once we put them up. Welcome.
Hello, welcome to our lesson today. We are talking about the lessons that we learn about the creation stories. In our previous lessons, we talked about the first creation account, the second creation account, and the attributes of God that we learned from these stories. And we learned that God is supreme. He does not have an equal, and he has very good characteristics, very good qualities. He is good. He is the source of life. He is the sole creator. He is all powerful. He is everywhere. We talked about those attributes, and we did not talk about much about man. So what do we learn about man from the creation stories? So today we are going to look at lessons that we learn, or the teachings that we learn about the creation stories, about man in the creation stories. And the first lesson that we learn is about man is a special creature. Man is a special creature. Among the creations that were made, all the creation that was done, man is very special. He is special in this sense that he has the image of God and his likeness in the first creation story, and he has the breath of God in the second creation story. And for this reason, man, therefore, he qualifies to be more important, to be a very special creature among all the others. And in this sense, that both the male and the female were created after the image of God and after God's own likeness, and they were both given the breath of God. There is no one of them with the spirit of another or the breath of another creature. Therefore, all human beings are equal before God. They are equal before God. And so there is no one, or the male or the female, that should look down upon another one. They should consider themselves to be equal before God because they have God's breath and they have his own image. All of them, the two of them. And this one should not be mistaken. When we talk about the woman being created to help man, it does not really mean that she is a lesser human being than the man. It is those are roles and those are duties that were given by God. Then we talk about man was mandated by God to subdue the earth. In the first creation account, man was the earth was created and man was given management, overall management, to have the animals, the birds of the air, the animals in the sea, all of them under his care. In the second creation account, the Garden of Eden was made and man was put there to till it. The animals were created and man was told to name them. And naming, that means a lot of authority. And so man was given the mandate to subdue, to manage. Management does not mean destructive. Yeah, it does not mean being wasteful. It does not mean being careless. Man was put in a position to look after the creation of God. So he has not been mandated to bring to an end the beautiful world that God created. And therefore, man should continue to nurture God's creation. And to nurture means that you need a lot of knowledge. If you are doing farming, about the plants that came into being on the third day, about the fruits that we see in the Garden of Eden, about the animals and the birds which came on the fifth day, we need to learn about their characteristic features. We need to learn about their needs. And therefore, when we learn about this, we discover about the creation of God much more, so we become co-creators of God. So when we have been mandated to subdue, we have been mandated to become co-creators of God. And another effect that we learn is, another lesson is that man was given the mandate to name the animals, and that is power to control, authority over the animals, authority over God's creation. Man should continue even to this day. When he was giving these names, he was not cursing them. It is a blessing. We should look at that as a blessing. And that is another thing. We also say that another lesson that we learn from God's creation is that man is a social being. That is, he was created, and you see in the second creation story that man was created, and there was no suitable partner. God saw that it was not good for man to be alone, and so God created him a partner. There's a lot of relationship between the man and the woman. They should give each other company, and they should look at each other as a blessing to one another. You know, it is they are social beings. They should learn to socialize, talk, and exchange good ideas. That is the will of God for man in this world. We also learned that man was given the mandate to work. You see, when God told Adam, when God told the first man to till the Garden of Eden, so he had given him, assigned him the duty to work. You see, this one, we usually think about work came as a result of sin. No. Read your Bible well. Read the word of God well. Tilling of the Garden of Eden came long before the fall of man. Naming of the animals came long before the fall of man, before sin. So work is a blessing. We should all work. We are meant to work. God himself worked. We are also supposed to work. That is another lesson that we learn. Another lesson that we learn is about resting. That man was given, after working, man must rest. The seventh day, God rested. We also learned that from there, because we were created after his own image, after his own creation, then we were given his own breath. So we are so much like God, and so we need to rest. After getting tired, after heavy work, we rest. So resting is divine, and it is beautiful. Then another lesson that we learn is that man and woman were created to have a family, and so marriage is instituted by God. And so when we have families here, it is the will of God, it is divine, and it should be respected. Marriage should be respected, and because it is a unit that was started by our Creator. And in the first story, it was created for procreation. In the second creation, it was a creation story. It was created for company. So when we have a marriage, the two should make a family, and they should have children, and they should have they should give each other company. And therefore here, it is very clear, without any contradiction, that a marriage is between a man and a woman. what we are seeing today in the world is confusion, is evil, that a man and a man can make a marriage, can make a family. A woman and a woman can marry. You see, that is not found in the book of Genesis, no. So that one is wrong and it should be condemned. We only should have a man and a woman, a man and a woman making a family, marrying to make a family. And it should be for procreation at all levels. It should be for procreation, unless maybe because of other reasons, medical reasons, then we may say that it's beyond man. So those are the lessons that we learn about man. Then we talk about our next subtopic is about the traditional view of creation. You know, we have talked so much about the creation of the universe and the fall of man. We have talked about the creation of the universe and about the Bible. And the Bible was written, as we saw, in Hebrew. It was written in Hebrew and it has been translated down to come to our local languages. Now we want to say that even the Africans, whom we are, we had our stories about God. And it is not recorded in the Bible. But we could say that the Africans were God-fearing. And we have myths that bring this point and this fact very clear. Every community, every ethnic group, they have a myth that is talking about their origin, talking about God, you see. So these myths, each one of us, we have our roots, except for the children who have mixed the origin, where we have the father is a Kikuyu and the mother is a Luo, a Mukamba. The father is a Mukamba and the mother is a Luya, you know. Except for those ones, and even for those ones as Africans mostly, we count the children on the father side. And so every one of us has a community where we come from. And these communities, they are very clear on this. Like we can talk about the Maasai community. Each one of us knows about the Maasais. They are the Ma-speaking people. And our Maasais, they have a very rich history. The Maasais believe that they came from the sky. The first Maasai man came from the sky. And the man was not alone. He did not come alone. He came with his family and he came with animals. God allocated him some part of the land where he settled with his animals. No wonder we have the Maasais following animals all through. You know, they are pastoralists because they came with the animals from the sky. They were given the animals by God. And so the god of the Maasais is called Enkai. So they believe that God created the first Maasai man and his wife. They also created that God created the animals and they gave them to the first Maasai man to come and take care of them. You know, and the Maasais are very good people. You know, the Maasai, even a very small boy, and he's with his animals in the field there, and maybe he is attacked by a wild animal. He will not relent. The boy will get bruised, but he will have to kill that lion. He will kill the lion and take the lamb of a sheep home, the calf of a cow, the calf of a cow home. He has been bruised, but he has killed that lion. That is now the kind of care that we talk about. So the Maasais believe that they came from God, they came from the sky, and they were put here by man. It is not by accident. They are not regretting, and they live a very healthy life. What about your community? Yes, What about your community? So if you look at our vernacular, we have reverences to God. We talk about God the Creator, God everlasting, God the good God. You see, so those are the words that support that the Africans also believe that they were created by a supreme being. So God is the supreme, is the sole creator in the African culture, and man is very special, and all the provisions, all the wealth that man has in the African communities, he believes that he was given by God for a good purpose, not for a bad reason. So man, as the African person, he does not regret having been created by God. He is very happy, and therefore there is that assignment that we need to go back to our grandparents. Now we are at home during this time of coronavirus, during this time that we are carrying out our quarantine. Let us be close to our parents. They are here with us now. When you look to the right, when you look to the left, these people are here with us, and they are the source of knowledge for us. Let us make inquiries on the origin of our communities, where we came from, and what was the name of the first parents, and what else did God create, and what were his words, you know. So that is what we have learned today, and that one has brought us to the end of our lesson today. Thank you for having spent your time with us.
We're very grateful that you found time to watch our content. Kindly press the subscribe button down there and leave a like if the content was helpful to you. Join us in the next lessons. Thank you.